welcome into another episode of the Benchwarmers podcast. I'm Alex Anderson without Daniel Brown this week and next week. Daniel enjoying a little vacation, a much-deserved vacation. And these next 2 weeks here on the Benchwarmers will be a good lesson of sometimes the struggles you can have with starting a podcast at a television station. You have holidays, people off, people traveling. We'll get to that in just a minute. But we're not going to have our usual sports chat with Daniel. Next week we'll get another co-host with us. We're recording this on Monday, Memorial Day. So a lot of people taking the day off, rightfully so. So, happy for all of them enjoying a long weekend, much deserved. I took mine on the Friday back then, so I had my long weekend as well. Do not worry. A lot of stuff going on in sports. Obviously, it's playoff time for the NHL, for the NBA, OTA stuff getting started for the NFL. We're going to talk about all that stuff a little later. But when you talk about sports in the Arklatex right now in 2025, there is one big story, and that is the LSUS Pilots. Now, in a normal week, I'd probably just have Sidney here as my co-host. So I said, hey, why not? Sidney Lain. Let's bring her in to join the Benchwarmers, I guess for the second time technically now. She did crash one episode a couple of weeks ago. Sidney, of course, in Lewiston, Idaho, recording this on Monday before LSUS plays their second game in the NAIA World Series. 55-0 the Pilots are at the time of this recording. Hopefully it's 56 when this episode comes out. They're getting ready to take on Hope International right now. Sidney, you have it's been quite the journey, kind of a last-second deal to get you to Idaho. Before we start talking about the team or your experience, let's talk about the team and what it's been like following these guys on this historic journey.
It's been really fun to follow them. They've had lots of practices. They've also had a little bit of rest time since their last game on Friday, but you can really see the brotherhood between the team, which I think is really fun. The parents have been here as well, or some of the parents have been here, and they've invited their sons to come eat with them or something, but they've decided, the guys is like, this is one of our last times together. We want to spend that time with the team, but they are a powerhouse, and it's so fun watching them play.
Yeah, it's been a blast just from here watching them at home, but to be able to make that trip is really special. I know for you, someone that aspires to do sports, perfect experience for you to get to do something like this, to have something on that resume, to cover a story that literally no one has ever seen. Have people been talking about this in Idaho, not LSUS people, about how special this run has been?
Yeah, people will be like, oh, who are you with? And I'm like, I'm with the station back in Shreveport. And they're like, oh, you must be covering the 55-0 team. And I'm like, yes, I am. There was another, I guess, Louisiana team, Loyola from New Orleans, that was in the tournament. Unfortunately, they got knocked out just earlier by 1 point. It was a close game. But even they've been coming up to me, they're like, oh, you should cover us too. And I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, everybody wants the coverage, of course, and rightfully so. You're doing such a great job there now. I did want you to take our listeners through the world of television news, television sports, and how quickly this all kind of came together to get you on a plane and then in a car to get you where you are now.
So I left last Wednesday, and I found out I was coming on the Tuesday before, so less than 24 hours before I was on the plane on the way to Idaho.
Yeah, and then you had to fly to Spokane, drive to Lewiston. You were telling me a lot of interesting things about the area, very Lewis and Clark inspired over there.
Yeah, so I've learned, I believe they went on a journey through the rivers here. This is Lewiston, Idaho. On the other side of the river is Clarkston, Washington. So they're very proud of Lewis and Clark. The college here that this baseball field is their college is Lewis and Clark State College. So lots of Lewis and Clark here. And this was also the first state capital of Idaho. I've learned that as well.
Okay, and that was Idaho history with Sidney Lain, a new segment here. We're starting here on the Benchwarmers, right, live in front of your face. How about that? Another question I have for you. Where in the world are you right now?
So I'm under the bleachers. The game is right in front of me. So this, I guess, 10th?
Yeah.
10th. Is the Lewiston Tribune people. They've kind of taken me in, I guess you could say.
Love
They've
it.
let me use their chargers,
Love it.
kind of given me the history lesson that I just gave you. But yeah, I thought I'd be safe from foul balls under here. Apparently not. The MacBook sitting right here behind me just got smacked by one.
Oh, ouch. Well, thankfully it wasn't yours, but you hate to see that either way. And that is
Yeah.
a big thing about covering a baseball tournament. We saw it in your interview with Coach Nevendorf. You really have to keep that head on a swivel because foul balls can literally go anywhere.
I just don't want to get hit while I'm going live. That would be horrible. Or before I go live.
Yeah, or after or anything. We do not want that to happen. Very painful, I would imagine, a foul ball would be, especially with the way these guys are swinging it these days with those aluminum bats or whatever the heck they're made out of these days. Sydney, you did get a chance to meet some of the families, talk about their journeys to get to Idaho. How rewarding was that experience for you, a chance to kind of get to know a team a little more than we normally would in coverage?
Yes, it's been really awesome. The families and fans that have come for LSUS have really enjoyed that I'm here, not only covering their boys, but also rooting for their boys.
Right.
I got to meet them yesterday at a luncheon, and one of the families came all the way from the Netherlands. Another family drove 31 hours, and they also invited me to go eat dinner with them, which I thought was really nice since I'm here by myself.
That is very nice. And I think that was one of the cool things that we talked about before you even went was this is a way different deal than if you were covering LSU or Louisiana Tech. You know, this is a very community-based deal and a group of people that are very thankful to just have someone there. You know, you're the only TV person from Shreveport that is there. It's so significant. And I hope, I think much time will pass and you'll look back and be like, wow, that was a really big deal. And you're seizing the moment, Sydney. We couldn't be prouder of you. What do you think so far maybe has been the toughest part of your journey to Idaho?
Being away from you guys and my family, of
Yeah.
course. It's been a long time. I miss my dogs and my husband. But it's been really nice meeting the people here. I don't know if I mentioned this. They've told me I'm their good luck charm.
Love it.
I don't think that's true because they've been winning all season, and I don't think that's because of me.
Well,
But
it's a
yeah,
new
definitely
season.
just being away from family.
Yeah, it's a new season now. You did mention, and
True.
Matt pointed it out in my ear, you said dogs before husband. Is that the order of levels in which we miss them?
No, that is not. Husband and then dogs.
My wife would probably say something much different if asked that question, but hey, we love the dogs. We don't want you to stay on too long. I know you got a big night ahead. Where do you get to watch the games from? What's your view look like on the field?
You know, I could probably show you.
Let's do it.
Hold on.
This is what
Well,
Benchwarmers is for. We can. It's not your traditional TV fare, so we can change it up a little bit. Here we go. Under the bleachers. There we go.
Okay. So like that little cranny right there,
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
sharing that.
so you got a great view, and you got a nice net protecting you as well. Very, very important. You know, that net does sometimes come back when the ball hits it. It's not like a
Yeah. Well,
trampoline.
and that spot also doesn't have like there's like a little section that doesn't have net.
Okay. Well, let's stay by the net, please. Don't stress me out any more than we need to. So we did find out that your trip has been extended. So good luck. The good luck charm staying in Idaho. I'm sure. Did you pack extra clothes? I know I told you this was a possibility.
Yeah, I packed a little bit, probably not enough because the weather here is so weird. So like in the mornings it's pretty chilly
Yeah.
and like I have to wear jackets and blue jeans, but then the evenings are pretty hot, like a dry hot, not like our humid hot.
Right.
And but I did bring detergent.
Okay, good. So we can do some laundry. Now, when you say chilly, what's like the lowest temperature you've experienced in Idaho so far?
Friday morning when I went live for our early show, it was 40 degrees, I think.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that's
Which I'm like, in May?
Yeah.
40 degrees in May?
I get it. That's chillier than I thought it would be. I was gonna razz you a bit, but you escaped it. So good job there, Mother Nature, bailing you out one time. So I guess if you could, before we let you go, I know you got a game to get to. I think one thing that people don't realize is all of the things that go into what we do. And you're getting a perfect example of that. Starting, you mentioned it, bright and early in the morning. So a day like today, take our viewers through what that entails for you.
So this morning, I woke up at 3:30 Pacific time, so the time zone I'm in right now, which
Right.
is I guess 5:30 y'all's time. And I went live in the early morning show, which would have been at 4:30 my time. Then I went back in, went to sleep for a little bit, woke back up, got ready, and then drove over here almost immediately after getting ready, because I had to be live in the 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 9 and 10. So I've been here most of the day.
But you got some kids dancing behind you. Little do they know this is just a podcast that is primarily listened to and not watched. So they shot their shot. Probably wasted their time a little bit. They should have waited until you were going live in the real shows if they wanted to be on TV. So, sorry, dudes, couldn't help you out. Okay, so another game. But by the time this episode airs, the Pilots will have played another game. We hope that's a win. Sidney, we're going to let you go. I know you got a big night ahead. The good luck charm for the Pilots is in Idaho to stay. Following them all the way. I'm gonna say it again. We are so proud of you, Sidney. You're doing an awesome job. Let's keep it up, and let's go Pilots.
Thank you. Go Pilots.
There you go. Sidney Lain coming to us live from Lewiston, Idaho, where the LSUS Pilots are in the NAIA World Series. So that was fun, right? A little better than just having me sit here and talk to you for 10 minutes. So in order to avoid that even further, let's talk about some more championship baseball. Our interview for this week, it is a great one. North DeSoto, they just capped off a couple of weeks ago their state championship in Division II of baseball. So we caught up with Luke Delafield, who is a star on that team, but is also the Griffins starting quarterback. We talked to him after their spring scrimmage where he didn't get to practice much, but he takes us through so many cool stories in a way only he can. So let's go to our interview now with Daniel and Luke Delafield. We welcome in a very special guest here on the Benchwarmers this week. Our first, our first high school athlete.
First scholar athlete, student athlete, whatever term you want to use, yeah.
Yeah, it's Luke Delafield, quarterback, baseball star, Mr. North DeSoto, if you will. Luke, fresh off of a state championship in baseball, man. I talked to you earlier. You said it really hadn't sunk in yet. A few days have passed. We still feeling that way?
Man, it's I went to my first football workout this morning, and our trainer who works out the football team, he also worked out baseball. He had me stand up in front of everybody, and he just looked at me and he said, "It pays to be a winner, so you don't have to work out today." And when he said that, it kind of sunk in. I was like, that's something nobody will ever be able to take away from me is winning that state championship. But I still have an opportunity to win 2 more, and that's what I plan to do.
And talk about the grind of what it means to go through a baseball season as opposed to a football season. Obviously 2 different sports, 2 different muscle groups that you're working out as a quarterback and a pitcher, an outfielder, everything that you have to do. What is the major difference in your mind for a grind of a baseball season as opposed to a football season?
Well, one of the major differences is you're playing about 4 times a week. So, luckily it's not as physically demanding as football. But over a period of time it is for sure. So you definitely have to take care of your body during baseball season. It's a long season there. You play a lot of games, you play a lot of innings. And then, playing quarterback, I don't really have to use my legs that much, so my legs stay in pretty good shape during football season, but during baseball, playing center field and then pitching, and when you go pitch, you throw 115 pitches, that kind of wears your legs down over time. So the mentality of it is the same. You're still going out there and you're trying to win, obviously, and attack hitters. Just like I'm trying to attack defenses as a quarterback. But it's definitely, for me, I wouldn't say so much as for like receivers in football, like Cole. I mean, he's running every day in football season, and he's running every day in baseball season. But for me, I don't run every day in football season. but I have to in baseball. So that's definitely a change. But you just go out there and you get after it.
And you take me to my next question, Luke. Alex called you Mr. North DeSoto, but in the baseball introductions, Mr. Stonewall is Cole Corey. Winning a state championship with that guy, how special was that weekend in Sulphur to not only with your teammates, but specifically with Cole?
Man, it was a surreal moment. We roomed together. We have any road trip we've gone on, we've always roomed together. But we won that first game pretty handily, and we knew I was going to pitch the next game. And I don't really get nervous, but I wasn't nervous that game either. They were just, I'm going to be honest with you, they kicked my teeth down my throat. And then you show back up at the hotel, and then I look at Cole and he's calm as a cucumber, so. Just seeing that, it definitely helped me going into the next day after just absolutely getting embarrassed in front of everybody. But, that's just the kind of guy he is. He's always there to pick you up, even in your lowest moments. And I just remember sitting there. We were playing the PlayStation, and I just remember he looks at me, and we were playing a game of Fortnite. And he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, if we win this match right here, we're gonna win state tomorrow." And man, he had like 15 kills. He just completely went off. I was like, dude, why didn't you say that yesterday? I mean, come on. So after he did that and he's just chilling, I'm like, I can't believe you just bet our season on a game of Fortnite. And he's like, oh, come on, you knew I was gonna win. I was like, yeah, I guess. So just having a relationship with him like that where either one of us fail, the other one's always there to pick the other one up. And I just remember when we won, just looking over there at him in left field and just seeing how happy he was, and then just sprinting to the dog pile. So I'm glad that we got to experience that together. We've been dreaming about it for 3 years, so it was definitely well deserved, and I'm proud of him for sure.
That's awesome. And you said Fortnite. That obviously got me going because my wife and I, we play Fortnite every night, man. So we got to ask, what's your character on Fortnite? What do you rock with mainly?
Oh, dude. Okay. I'm not good, at all. I'm terrible. So the only time I ever play is with Cole, and we'll do the split screen.
Yeah.
Because he's really good. So I just have the basic character or whatever. But like I said, he had 15 kills that game. I think I had 2. So, I'm not very good, but I like to win. So I'm only going to play when he plays with me.
That's smart.
That's why I move right there.
That's how you do it. I think my wife says the same thing about me. I carry Miss Anderson to a couple dubs here and there. You got to love it.
Yeah, man.
That's funny.
Fortnite may not be your forte, but is there a video game that's your go-to where you're like, man, I'm dominating this. I'm going in and I'm winning all the way?
Oh, I'm gonna wreck shop in Call of Duty every time. Okay, nobody's gonna beat me in Call of Duty ever. And then obviously, the new college football game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on now. I had that sucker pre-ordered before it ever came out.
Amen.
And as a quarterback, it's pretty easy. One of my buddies, Miller Warren, he likes to get his butt whooped from time to time. He likes to run them. He likes to bump them gums, and he knows he can't beat me. So I just kind of mess with him, and I'll hang 60 on him. He doesn't even stand a chance. So I don't know why he does.
Well, how do you not throw 5 picks a game like I do? I mean, I'm awful.
Oh, dude, you got to run that ball, man. Come on now.
Yeah, you're right.
The best pass game's a good running game.
All right, good to know. Good to know. I need to go to the Delafield School of NCAA for that. We got a lot of stuff we want to ask you, but I did want to do a couple more baseball questions before we moved on. We're getting off track.
Oh, yeah.
Your sisters obviously have given you a hard time for a long time. What's Thanksgiving dinner going to be like this year?
Oh, there's going to be some smack talk for sure. You can believe that. It's been coming for 17 years. So But I will say, with all the crap they've given me over the years, they were the first people to, congratulate me, say how proud they were of me. And so that was a pretty awesome moment. But they're definitely going to hear about it for a while.
Bring some, as you told us the other day, bring some jewelry to Thanksgiving dinner this year.
Yeah, yeah. The ring, we actually designed our rings a couple days ago. They're massive.
Yes.
So
Yeah. As you should.
I'm going to wear that thing around everywhere.
Yeah, so like with the softball team also winning as well this year, baseball pulling off the double, if you will, the softball baseball combo. How special was this year in Stonewall, and how much have the programs supported each other in various games and various venues?
Man, it was awesome to be living in the town of Stonewall for sure. So softball beat Lutcher in the semifinals at Sulphur, and then they ended up winning the whole thing. And a lot of the baseball guys went to go watch that game. And after, they're out there taking pictures, celebrating with their trophy they just won. And I'll never forget Braden Toothman. He looked at me. He was a senior this year. He batted leadoff, played right field. He looked at me and goes, "Now it's time to go get us one." And that I just remembered that going throughout the playoffs. And then another pretty awesome moment that happened after softball beat Lutcher in Sulphur. We played Lutcher the next week at home for a semifinal baseball series. So the whole softball team was there, obviously, and they were fired up about it. And I mean, I don't think we're really understanding how big of a deal that was, that softball and baseball won it in the same season. But it's something that you could easily take for granted. But I hope that the people that were a part of it never take something like that for granted.
For sure, man. And for you, obviously, a special connection with Coach Odom. After it's over, he announces he's stepping away from the baseball team. To be able to get that one for him, man, what did that mean to you?
Man, it was awesome. I got some hunting stories with Coach Odom also, if y'all want to come back to that. But
Yeah, definitely.
I had no idea, but I mean, it's crazy to think that if anything were to happen to my dad, Coach Odom, or Uncle Bo, as I call him, would be the person to step into that role, and just to have that connection with him and being able to win a state championship for that guy, not for me, but for him, that's just such an awesome thing, because he will literally do anything for anybody. And, that's the kind of people I like to be around. And so he's just an awesome guy, and I was glad that we could win it for him.
And your journey with Uncle Bo isn't finished when it comes to sports. We were talking at the spring game. He is going to be able to coach for football for you this year. You told us that day when you found out you didn't want to cry in front of your uncle, so you went to the bathroom. Take us through that.
So he told me Sunday night we had a walkthrough for the spring game Monday, and he just kind of called me over there. He was like, "I took a job at central office. I won't be coaching next year." And I really I was kind of shocked, so I didn't really say much. I just kind of looked at him, and I just told him I was proud of him and all that. And so show up to school the next morning, go down to football, second block, all that. Well, then I'm checking out to go to the house, and he texts me, and he says, "Come here, I got some good news for you." So I thought he was talking about designing a ring right there. So I was pretty fired up, I take off sprinting up to his classroom, and I get up there, and he's got the most serious look on his face. I'm like, all right. Doesn't look like he's about to design a baseball ring. So he calls me outside into the hallway, and he tells me that. And, dude, I was so fired up. I gave him a big old bear hug. And, I was fighting the tears back, because just to know that experience isn't quite over with him yet. And then I went down to the bathroom, and I just kind of looked up, just took a deep breath, and I just couldn't hold them in anymore. I started crying. But, I mean, I think that was an appropriate moment to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Just to know that it's not over with him yet. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, many more memories to come with him on the gridiron, but you also mentioned you have a couple hunting stories. What comes to mind of a hunting story with Uncle Bo?
Oh, yeah, I got a good one. So it was November 17th, 2017. No, 2019, not 2017. Thanksgiving break. My parents, they were going somewhere. I can't remember. But anyways, I stayed the whole Thanksgiving break at Uncle Bo's house. And when I was little, which was at this time, any deer that came out, I was going to shoot it, you know? I mean, it's just the way I was. If it's brown, it's down. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
But we didn't. This was like really the first time I had gone hunting with him serious. And so we get in the stand the first day, and like 5 deer come out. And I'm like, all right, which one am I going to shoot? And he's like, you're not going to shoot one of them. And I was like, what are you talking about? And so he's like, no, you're going to wait on a big deer. And I was like, wow. I was mad, but I obviously didn't say anything. So we went hunting like 4 days in a row, every morning and every evening. And then the last evening that I could hunt, there was like 12 deer out there at one time. And I was like, if I don't shoot one of these deer, my head's going to explode. You know, I had the itch. You know, I was ready to shoot something. And I'm pretty sure that he knew there was a big deer out there because he just looked at me and smiled. And he said, I want you to look through your scope and see if any of them have horns. So I was like, all right. And we're hunting a big old pipeline as it goes up a hill like this. And there's like 14 deer all the way down the hill. So I start at the top, and I just start looking on the way down. So I look at the first deer. I'm like, all right, that one doesn't have any horns. I look at the second one. I'm like, that one doesn't have any horns. And then when I go to look at the third one, I look back up at the second one. This is the biggest deer I've ever seen in my life. But keep in mind, I'm 12 years old, and this deer is 250 yards away. So then, it's a big enough deer to shoot. Then I got to convince him to let me shoot it for 30 minutes. So now we're sitting in the stand arguing, and this dude won't let me shoot the deer. And I'm like, look, bro, I'm fixing to shoot the deer. And so he calls my dad on the phone, who's on the way back from, I think they were in Oklahoma, Broken Bow. And he's like, look, Luke, just put the crosshairs right on top of the deer's back and just squeeze off. And so I did it. Long story short, I can show you all the deer that's hanging in my room.
Here we go.
Love it.
Yeah, how about that?
So
long story short, I killed the biggest deer in my life with Bo. With old Unky Bo.
Hey,
Come on.
There we go.
Look at
Yes,
that thing.
sir.
That's awesome,
about that?
man. That's fantastic. What a great story, man.
I'll never forget that story.
Yeah, well, hey.
So since then, how many have you tagged and bagged? I mean, that's obviously the prized possession right there, but how often have you gotten out there?
I definitely owe him for sure. But really the person that I owe the most is my cousin Sam, because I shot that deer off of his stand. And the day that I shot it, he went to D1 to go do some training. And when we found the deer, he was pretty upset, but I didn't care. I was fired up.
Got to take advantage of the resources that you got. That's awesome,
That's
man.
it, man.
Yep.
So, you know, obviously we talk so much about football here on Benchwarmers, Friday Football Fever, all that good stuff. Getting ready for your senior year, crazy. I feel like we've known you for so long now. You've been playing for so long. What are the emotions as you start to get ready for that final season of football in high school, and what it all means to you?
You know, it goes by fast. I mean, it's crazy. It's like I blinked and then now I'm here. So really, the thing that I'm gonna have going into this year is just like focus on what you're doing and just try to make as many memories as possible. But with that being said, I'm also trying to win a state championship, and this is my last opportunity to do that. So I'm gonna not that I'm gonna be mean or anything, but I'm gonna get on some folks.
Yep.
If you're on the fence, you're either gonna quit or you're gonna get on the right side of the fence. You're not just gonna ride the fence the whole way through the season because you're gonna get us beat. So I'm definitely gonna be pretty hard on some folks that I think can be really good and really big assets to helping our team win. Because this is my last ride and I want to go out on top.
And I bet you guys do, man. You have that Dome experience. You had it as a younger player. Now heading into that final football season, how have you felt your leadership role change on this team from when you were first a freshman quarterback? It's now a big senior heading into your final year.
Yeah. So my freshman year, I was just kind of I guess you'd call it like a back of the line leader. I was kind of quiet. I did everything that I was supposed to do. I wasn't really leading with my voice as much. I was leading more by my actions and like what to do and what not to do. Which it worked as a freshman because you don't see many freshmen doing that. They like to kind of goof off and they're just there to be there. But I think the seniors understood from day one that I was there to win. And I was doing what was right. But now, obviously I speak to the team as a whole just about every day. Hey, Mom. No. Y'all be quiet. And so, yeah, just being a senior, definitely having an opportunity to speak to my teammates a lot more. So I would say I'm definitely using my voice a lot more, and sometimes I'm cool. Sometimes you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. I'm not very cool, but it's what it takes to win.
Perfect that your mom walked in there because that kind of led me to where I was going next. I saw her post on Facebook earlier. Some lessons with Luke, man. You're gonna try to teach some of the younger generation. She said you needed some spending money. What do we need money for, man? What are we looking for right now?
Man, I'm addicted to golf, dude.
Let's go.
All right.
And what's even worse about it is that I suck, but I'm addicted to it. So, I mean, golf's expensive.
Yep.
Golf and fishing are pretty expensive, so a little spending money never hurts.
Absolutely. So if you need lessons, football, baseball, pitching, outfielding, all that stuff, hitting, Luke Delafield's your guy. If you're listening to this, you got a kid looking for some work, hit up Luke Delafield.
Hit me up.
Definitely. And so what kind of got the golf itch going for you? I mean, you're a competitor, so you don't like to lose, but what kind of got you started and has the addiction going now?
So Cole Corey took me golfing for the first time ever. My freshman year, I was using his clubs, and I hit one good shot, one good chip. That was literally it. And I was like 10 yards from the green, and I chipped it like a foot from the hole. And I just looked at him, and I was like, I love this game. and if I would have played, luckily we were scrambling. If I would have played my own ball, I probably would have shot 150.
Yeah.
But just from that one shot, I was like, I'm coming back to play this.
That's all it takes.
And so ever since then, any chance me and Cole get, we go play around the golf, and I've gotten a lot better. I've actually, I can break 100 consistently now. So that's a start.
Yeah, for sure.
That's where it goes. We have better golfers here at the station, so I'm kind of in your same boat, Luke. I like to think I'm a golfer, but I need to get out there more to actually get the score down. But I like to hear another young avid golfer getting out there and getting after it on the course.
I don't have the patience for golf, I'm gonna tell you right now. I have a couple bad shots, that club is going over the knee. That's just my personality, man.
That's the hockey player in you.
Yeah, that's the hockey player in me for sure. Although a lot of hockey players do golf. I'm much more of the Call of Duty guy like you are, Luke. That is definitely one of my go-tos to blow off some of that steam. Now, I'm just looking at the clock. We've been talking for about 20 minutes. And, look, we interview high school football players all the time, right? I don't know how many, maybe 3 or 4 could sit here and hold a conversation with us for this long. We joke internally all the time that in a lot of ways you seem like you got 50 years of wisdom as a high school kid. Oh, any idea where that comes from? That gift of gab?
Oh my gosh. Y'all are gonna have to meet my dad. I mean, y'all have to just have a conversation with that guy. 50 years of wisdom. I'm gonna use that now. That's
There we go.
hilarious. My dad has 150 years of wisdom.
Okay.
If I have 50 years of wisdom, he knows everything about anything, and he's hilarious. And then obviously, Coach Dunn, he's a pretty wise guy too.
Oh, yeah.
So I have two pretty big role models in my life that just love to talk and can talk about anything.
I have to assume in your younger years, you had to be a menace. I mean, you had to talk your way out of every bit of trouble you got in.
Oh my goodness. What? I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. You are exactly right. You hit the nail on the head with that. My mom, I remember, I'll never forget this. I was like 5 years old, and we were at Stanley High School. My oldest sister was playing softball. I can't remember what I did, but I just remember my mom chasing me with a flip-flop. And I just remember running away from her. And then eventually she quit chasing me, and I just walked up to her and I hugged her, and I was like, "I'm sorry, Mom. I love you." She was like, "Oh, it's okay." Yeah, I definitely have to sweet talk her sometimes.
Yeah, that reminds me of a story with me, with my grandmother back in the day. And this was many, many years ago, but she used to administer some punishment with the old wooden spoon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and, as I started getting older and she's getting older, I start to look at that spoon and I'm realizing I could win this battle here, right? So she raises that spoon. I don't remember what I did, but I grabbed it and I cracked it over my knee and I was like, "Ha ha!" And this woman pulled another spoon out of her back pocket, was ready to go. She said, "I saw you eyeing it last time. I knew what you were going to try to do." So, not
That's
as
wisdom. That's that wisdom right there.
right. Not as smooth as Mr. Delafield here. You want to do rapid fire now?
Yeah, sure. So, Luke, we kind of go through some rapid fire questions, and they're very wide ranging, very stuff that you can answer very quickly. So, what's your go-to album or music artist where you just want to put it on, kind of zone out, and pull up some tunes?
Oh, George Strait for sure. Yeah, big George Strait guy. One of his favorite albums, or one of my favorite albums of his, is Prime Country from the movie. He's got some pretty good songs on there. Pure Country, not Prime Country. My bad. Pure Country.
It was fun. I mean, that was an expected answer. I think I was kind of hoping you'd just throw us off and be like, "The Baby" or something like that.
No, not me.
Yeah, we figured that's a very solid answer.
Is it 97 country or 94? Okay, I'm not as adept with the country knowledge, but I do have a strong appreciation for the art form George Strait. I'm aware of him.
Right.
I guess Chris Stapleton's probably like my most knowledgeable country
good.
guy. So yeah, I definitely will defer to Alex on the country questions.
Look, I'm a Brooks and Dunn guy. I mean, Hillbilly Deluxe, Neon Moon.
Heck yeah.
I mean, that's my go-to. One of my first concerts ever was Brooks and Dunn when I was very young. But what about TV shows, man? I mean, I know you like to get outdoors a lot, but if you are going to binge watch something or whatever, what are we watching?
So during COVID, I was a big Cobra Kai guy.
Okay.
I've watched just about every episode of that. So I like that, and I like Stranger Things.
Okay.
The Netflix show. I watched season 2. Haven't got on to season 3 just yet. But another show that I probably need to add to the queue list again as well. So also we got to go into food questions. What's your go-to meal, or like this is the last meal that I'm going to eat forever? What is it going to be?
Ever? Oh, I'm definitely going to have some boiled crawfish for sure.
There we go. Best answer.
Yeah.
It's the only answer.
That's it. I couldn't agree more with that, man. Man, I'm blanking here. I did want to go back to that last question, talking about Stranger Things. I don't know anything about Stranger Things, but my sister has, one of those like Sphinx, like hairless cats. Terrifying looking thing, and the cat's named 11. So I know that is a Stranger Things type reference there. So
I want to kind of popped in my head, bringing back to hunting. If you had a go-to hunt, what's your game that you're going after, if you will, your prey that's in your sights? What's your number one?
I would like to go to Colorado and hunt elk.
Okay.
I know a lot of people that go and do that, and they travel in the mountains on horseback, and then they'll see an elk 2 miles away, and then they'll just go get close enough to shoot it, and then that's what they'll do. And I recently got a gun for Christmas this past year that I'll be able to do that with, so I would like to do that.
How many lessons with Luke do we need to book for that to make that happen, man?
No, a lot. I might probably have to book so many I wouldn't even have time to go. So.
Yeah, that's great,
Well,
man.
wish you well, man, and hopefully you get that trip to Colorado there in the future and bag your big one. I know the elk are it's a different level of challenge when it comes to the hunting game. So yeah, good luck to you out there.
And look, if you get state championship number 2 in you get one in football too. I mean, I think that's good enough for a Colorado trip, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll sweet talk Mom into that.
There we go. Gotta love it. Luke, we usually ask, I mean, the answer is usually no, but if you got any questions for us, man, we're here before we wrap this thing up.
No, I can't think of anything. Oh, hang on.
Okay.
I did see this on Twitter. Coach Dennis from Benton.
Right.
Tell me about your experience at the Creed concert.
Oh, it was a life-changing experience, and it was funny when Coach was telling us that. Our director Matt, that's upstairs, that's punching all the camera shots for us right now. He was like, "Oh yeah, I was there too." So that was a
yeah.
I mean, geez, I don't know how many years ago that was. You probably weren't born.
Probably not.
That was
but that's hilarious.
November 2000. Were you born then?
No, I haven't thought about it.
No,
Yeah, well, I guess that makes sense. It is 2025, Alex.
Yeah, it's okay.
Jeez
But-
Louise.
So that's the Benchwarmers. It's okay. We'll give it.
We don't do math here.
That's right. We listened to Creed in the locker room of baseball all year long. So that might be our lucky band right there.
Heck yeah. What about you, man? You got any? You been to any big concerts that stick out to you?
I haven't been to really any just big ones. I've been to Luke Bryan, Florida Georgia Line, and Co Wetzel. I think that's it. I've only been to about 3. My oldest sister has been to every single one you can think of.
Well, we had a guy, the same guy I was talking about, Matt. He does a spot-on Luke Bryan impression. You won't be able to hear it right now, but as soon as you said it, it was happening in my ear. So, gotta love that.
Yeah.
Well, Luke, man, you're a great storyteller. You got a bright future if you want to get into talk radio as well.
One last thing,
it
it just popped into my head before we let you go. When you started, when you told us you had hunting stories about your uncle, was that all just a ruse to show off your deer there in your room?
I mean, maybe, but nobody has to know that until you just told them all, man.
Well, look, man, I was just thinking about it when you stood up. I was like, this seems premeditated a little bit. I mean, we loved it. It was awesome.
I mean, I just kind of looked over there and I saw it. I was like,
Spur of the moment.
You know?
It was inspiration.
Yeah,
it was spur of the moment type deal.
Well, when y'all guys get that ring, definitely take a picture of it. I know you were involved in the design process or talked about the design process as well. We're looking forward to seeing that for you guys. And yeah, man, good luck to you and congrats on a successful baseball season and the upcoming year in football for North DeSoto Griffins football.
And before we log off, Luke, two promises I need you to make to me, all right?
Okay.
Number 1, you'll come back on the show when we get closer to football season.
Absolutely.
Number 2, we talked about it last year, couldn't make it happen. You got a Thursday game next year. Let's get you here on the desk. Let's co-host some Friday Football Fever, man.
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm in.
Sounds awesome, man. I think our viewers would, from your 50 years of wisdom, would benefit greatly from watching that. But Luke, you're the man. We talked for about 30 minutes. I mean, that's just some incredible stuff, man. We wish you nothing but the best of luck. We'll catch up with you soon, my man.
Sounds good. Y'all have a good one.
I'll tell you, Daniel and I, thankful that Luke is so skilled in the athletic field. He will not be coming for our jobs anytime soon. He can certainly handle it. So yeah, that's all I got for you this week, guys. Be sure to follow us on all the social media platforms. Get us wherever you get your podcast, all that good stuff. And if you are listening to us on Apple, Spotify, something like that, don't forget, you can always watch the video version at ktbs.com because you want to see Luke's deer. He had the whole plan to show it to us and everything. Some really cool stuff there. So, guys, fingers crossed for LSUS. We'll be tracking them all the way. We'll hear from Sidney again more than likely next week to get a recap of that journey. But until then, this has been another episode of The Benchwarmers. We'll see you next week.